hasn't been an easy month. But it's only halfway through. We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
It's nearly the end of the year. It's nearly the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Love you, Nick.
I love you. Thanks, Obi.
Sure.
Thanks for the call. Have a good day. Cheers. Right. Vamagili, welcome to this show with me. I thank you very much for joining me. I hope you are well. I trust you are well. I just felt I needed to go live right now. And so this is just a prelude. Well, a prelude. Something new, something different. Let's change the conversation. Please, let's change the conversation. This is an adult entertainment show. So you need to use your adult discernment, and also at the same time, it's important that if you are underage, to get an adult to watch with you. It's very important for this. I don't know if you've ever had experiences which you cannot explain. The other day, 2 days ago, I pressed record and I made a live video. Well, not a live video, a video of the recording of the tarot that I usually did. And I even paused the video to do my normal pausing that one does, or that I do in my video. And I pressed play again as well myself. And when I ended the video was gone. It wasn't there. It felt like magic to me. I wasn't sure if it was or not. You know, I've never been scared of the dark. Let's see if this works. Of the dark. Never been scared of the dark. But I've had experiences where I've seen shadow people. I've had little shadow people walking through into the room, little shadows of people coming through, and seeing just like multiple little shadow people, like adults. Okay, we're not talking about children here, we're talking about adults, but there was little shadow people coming through the back door there by the bathroom there, passing through. Still today, my curtains are this sort of a pattern, and I see faces in the curtains. I don't know if you actually do that yourself as well, where you make faces out of patterns. And on that day that this happened, I had it was a spell, a voodoo spell. It was very strong, and I had to do some serious work, which other people would call post-traumatic stress to deal with. And I should have gone through a lot of counseling, but I never went through counseling. But these experiences happen. And unfortunately, what I'm going to show you now, I also know that light plays a huge role in deception and how can you call it? Ghosting, scaring. There can be people playing with your mind, and the magic works. That's what I'm saying to you. Without further ado, let me see if you can see what you think about this situation, where the camera sees something and then all of a sudden it changes, and it's a completely different situation. Hello there, Toshi. How you doing? How did the nails turn out? I saw you doing the beautiful nails, and you know your model had beautiful hands. and I hope the nails turned out. I didn't watch I watched 2 minutes of your live, but somebody sent me this YouTube video, and why didn't you tell me what you think about ghosts and spooks? Have you ever had an experience of these things in your life? Let's take a look. Let me put the sound up. This is fair use. This is for educational purposes, for analytical, and let's find out what you think about this.
As always, let's go ahead and get right into today's video. This first creepy video by Lizzie83Ma has been dividing a lot of people, and personally, I can see both the logical explanation side of this and the supernatural side of it. And while I do see this as more logical, there are a few oddities about this video that really stand out to me.
It is freaking creepy. 8:41, somebody knocks on the door, and then, hold on. Check out their outfits.
Wearing two different dresses from what they were wearing.
It's nothing compared to what they were wearing.
And we saw them. They had polka dots. They had the dresses from
go
the
back to the other one.
We literally just saw them and they were wearing.
And like, go fast forward, like it changes color. Watch, go fast.
Right as soon as they
Right
get
there.
over there out
Yeah.
of our porch.
What the heck is this? Is this at 8:41?
Look, they
And they're,
Rapper.
they
And
said
then
they were
that's-
missionary, you know.
Are you the real
missionaries
one?
don't come at 9 p.m. though. That's
I asked them, you know, that, you know, it's late, and they left. And they said, I said, I'm sorry, not trying to be rude.
that's creepy.
But like I said, there are others that are trying to give a more logical explanation, like is the lighting of the camera distorted the colors of the
Okay, good.
dresses. And like this individual says right here, you're seeing tracking from the night vision. And that's fine because that does indeed happen. I just have a few concerns. For one, both of these women on the other camera, they are wearing black. The one woman has a black dress and the other one looks like she's wearing a black blouse. You can even see right here on the second camera, this woman in the red dress, she has a black strap on her purse. So if you go to the original front door video footage, again, you can see the black strap on the purse like you could in the secondary video, and you can see the black name tags, but how come you can no longer see this woman right here wearing a black dress and you do not see this woman over here wearing a black blouse? How come the dresses are the only things being distorted? This other angle of them taken as they're approaching the home also gives me a very uneasy feeling. I mean, even the patterns on the dresses look different as they're approaching the home. And some people are even saying, do missionaries even come out this late? That might be different per state. In other states, they may be out till 9 p.m. But it sounds like when it comes to this woman anyway, that's something unusual for her area. Like, for example, in my area, this would be something very unusual because all the missionaries I ever see are out in the early morning. So this has some people believing that these women might be shapeshifters or something else altogether, trying to gain access to this woman's home, pretending to be missionaries. Like I said, I can definitely see the logical side of this, but there are definitely some questions to be had here. In this next creepy video, more and more people are noticing that ice cream trucks are operating at night. And I'm not talking about 7 p.m., 8 p.m., I'm talking about 11 p.m., even up to 12 a.m., 1 a.m. This kind of reminds me of the 2016 clown sightings because I really have to say, I do not once remember ever seeing an ice cream truck operating past 6 p.m.
Yeah, so let's go back to that. These women, you see, this is about the light. The light that the camera receives. There they have a red dress and then a blue dress.
Again, you can see the
And
black
now the dress is turned solid lilac.
strap on the purse like you could in the secondary video, and you can see the black on the name tags. But how come you can no longer see this woman right here wearing a black dress and you do not see this woman over here wearing a black blouse.
You know why I think? I think it's because of the infrared. It's the infrared. You know, when you do photography and you, the old-fashioned photography, you would get a photography room where you actually, how you doing, MJD? How you doing, rapper? How you doing, Toshi? You would get the negative. This is the negative picture, but then if it was negative, she would be black. Yeah? Her face would be black, the skin would be black. But it seems like a negative picture to me.
The dresses are the only things being distorted. This other angle of them taken as they're approaching the home also gives me a very uneasy feeling.
And then it changes.
I mean, even the patterns on the dresses look different as they're approaching the home.
San
And some people are
Banani!
even saying, do missionaries
Vamos,
even come out
get
this
up!
late? That might be different per state. In other states, they may be out till 9 p.m. But it sounds like when it comes to this woman anyway, that's something unusual for her area. Like, for example, in my area, this would be something very unusual because all the missionaries I ever see
Okay, the next
are
one.
out in the early
The
morning.
next one.
So in this next creepy video, more and more people are noticing that ice cream trucks are operating at night. And I'm not talking about 7 p.m., 8 p.m. I'm talking about 11 p.m., even up to 12 a.m., 1 a.m. This kind of reminds me of the 2016 clown sightings because I really have to say, I do not once remember ever seeing an ice cream truck operating past
It doesn't
6
look
p.m.
like an ice cream truck. It looks like an ambulance. Oh no, they're selling drugs. In my day, they would be selling drugs. Derugs. Oh, America has strange ice cream trucks. Wow. America's a strange country. Oh, that's scary. They must be on crystal meth.
What's even more bizarre is that some of these are not even ice cream trucks. For example, this video right here that shows a van with blacked out windows blasting ice cream truck music.
Tweakers, yes. They tweaked to the max, baby. Let me go sell some ice cream. Yeah, I'm gonna make $1 million. It's a different ice cream van. I bet you there's going to be an ice cream van coming past Maine in Delport, no? Rockport.
Some are suspecting that this could be drug related, that these ice cream trucks could
Yes,
be
that's what I
involved in
said.
selling drugs. But again, I've never personally seen ice cream trucks past 6 p.m. And if they were indeed selling drugs, one would think that they would make themselves blend in with the other ice cream trucks during the day and not make themselves stand out. There are even connections being made when it comes to the missing kids in Virginia, Ohio, and other places that have a high number of missing children, right back to these ice cream trucks. Now, I don't know if there's any connections to be had between the ice cream trucks and the missing kids, even though these ice cream trucks are very eerie. The police are saying that all these missing kids, which they did confirm to be anywhere between 88 to over 90 missing kids per week, are just runaways and nothing to see here. And this is only if you take their word for it. I mean, this is not the first time that the police would give false information, like those stories I covered when it came to all those people mysteriously passing away in Lady Bird Lake, in New England, and so forth. And the police were saying there's nothing mysterious here. These people were just ending themselves. This next creepy video I was tagged in, it comes from I Am Brandon JN. And it seems like he captured a few things on this video, but
Why would you take it away? Take it away. Take it away.
one of the things that stood out to me was this flying thing that looks like what I have been talking about for quite some time on both of my channels, these white and black flying things that are seen in the skies.
All right, y'all. I
Did
think
you see that video that Team Rose did with those things in the sky? And they were rotating. They were rotating in the sky. I'm telling you, they're drones or shape-shifting aliens.
I might have caught something again. Check it out. So at first, I thought this was
Oh, that's too
just a
straight.
glare, right?
It's a light flare.
Because when it gets closer, it looks like that. But then watch. It literally bounces. Give it a second. Give it a second. Give it a second. Right there. Boom.
What?
And
What?
then boom. Ooh-wee.
Yeah, that's what do they call that? They call that a dragonfly.
All right, I don't know what's happening on this live stream, but look at that. Boom. All the way up to the sky. It's even leaving a streak. And then another one. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
And here's another one. Look at that. What in the world? It literally left a streak. Let me rewind that and I'm gonna zoom in for you guys. What the? And then look, I literally paused it right when this one is leaving. I'm gonna press play and you're gonna see it just go. What in the world?
Where did it come from?
Yeah, this is crazy. It's definitely not raining because you can see the little rain particles. And you can still see that thing, whatever that is.
What he seemed to have captured here was very similar to what was seen flying in the skies during the LA fires. Some people want to say that this was just something that had exploded, but you can actually see it curve up as it's flying. And not just that, there were many videos that captured these flying things, whether they were the
Maybe
black
a
ones or the
laser,
white
right?
ones, during the LA fires.
The following videos come from a woman who lives on a farm, specifically a farm that has horses. She has been dealing with what appears to be paranormal activity, and it seems to be centering around the horses. She's hearing disembodied voices when the radio turns on, and it shouldn't be able to in an empty barn. She has no idea what's going on, but it's truly terrifying her. Take a look at these next couple of videos. Comment below. Tell me what you think.
Taxi. Hey.
Wait, what?
Taxi. Hey.
It's ignoring. He's sleeping. Oh, that sound.
What's eerie to me is that as soon as horses stop in their track, you can hear something either laughing or crying.
What the?
Nope, nope.
Oh, this happens to me all the time. On YouTube, on the radio, on the TV. I don't know if you walked ever past the TV and then the TV would lose reception. I always made the TV lose reception.
I also heard that hay as well, and I mean, always trust the animals. They are always the first to know, and these horses definitely seem to be spooked by something on this farm. This next creepy video comes from the Damn It Man, and I've never heard the story before, and looking this up further, even the fact-checking websites that go out their way to debunk everything are saying that this story is indeed true.
In 2008, a commuter train just outside Los Angeles slammed head-on into a freight train, killing 25 people. One of them was Charles Peck, or at least that's what everybody thought. Now, Charles was a 49-year-old from Salt Lake City. He was traveling to California for a job interview he had at Burbank Airport. He had plans to relocate there. He wanted to be closer to his fiancée, Andrea. But after the crash, while first responders worked through the twisted steel, Charles's phone started calling his family. At first, it was Andrea, and his son, and his brother, stepmother, one after another.
Hey, Ozymandias, good to see
35
you.
separate calls came from Charles's phone over the next 11 hours. When they picked up, there was nobody on the other end of the line. No voice, no background noise, just a low crackling static. They called the phone back, straight to voicemail. They texted him, no replies, but the phone kept dialing. Each time it rang, they hoped it meant that he was alive.
NPC
They tracked
game,
somewhere in the
wow.
wreckage, trying to reach out.
Hey, man.
Rescue teams even used the
Good to
pings from
see
his
you.
phone
I haven't
to
watched
narrow
your
the
lives.
search.
I'm sorry.
This went on for 11 hours. The pings from his cell phone helped lead them deeper into the wreck, but when they found Charles, it was too late. They worried that they didn't get there in time, that he had been calling for 11 hours and just missed him. It shook the first responders up, but what happened next shook them up even worse. The coroner had looked at Charles and confirmed that he had died. Impact. There was no way he could have been making a single call. So, where were these calls coming from? Some people chalked it up to a technical glitch. Maybe his phone was damaged and the auto dialing his entire contact list. But it never, ever called strangers. It never repeated the same number twice. Only.
You know, I just want to say something now that you're all here. Look at that. Welcome. You know, I was watching Team Rose's live with Ruck up there, and I may have not given birth to, well, I haven't given birth to any children, and I haven't made any children, and it doesn't faze me that I haven't. I look at people who have children today, and it's great. I love dads who are great dads and take the kids out scrambling on the scramblers. But you know what happens? Life happens, and people grow up, and their fathers and mothers cannot always be with them all the time. And that's when people like myself jump in life and help you and are angels in your life. And I can promise you, I've been angels in many a young man's lives. Many. One of note was Ruck and Richard Hart were speaking about their stints in the Marines and the Navy. And I had my stint in the Navy, the South African Navy. I was very fortunate to get into the Navy. You only get into the Navy if you live by the sea, or if your father, and my adoptive father, was in the Navy. So I got this opportunity at the most difficult time of my life, where I was basically running away from home. And so my dad said, no, you need to go become a man now, my son. But during the basic training, there was, we get the weekend off to see family and loved ones. And of course, you would go for picnics with your family by the sea, because we were by the sea. And I never had my family there because I'm an inland. I should have been a soldier on the army, not by the sea. But I finished up 1,000 kilometers, 500-600 miles away from where I lived and grew up, to be by the sea. And so it was Sunday night, and this guy, he drank too much, and like a whole box of wine, I'm sure. Young guy. And his girlfriend came to see him at the picnic, and she broke up with him at the picnic, as girls do. As girls break men's hearts, that's what they do. And his heart was broken. Double tap on the screen, you motherfuckers. And his heart was broken, and he wanted to kill himself. He was angry. He punched his fist through the window in the shower, and he was going to take the glass and do the whole deletion business. And who was called? I was called out of everyone. Everybody else was too scared. And so I was strong enough to hold him down, him and his drunk demons, from preventing him from deleting himself or trying to. And I held on to him for 2 hours with him fighting himself. And I experienced, to me, it was my very first exorcism or exercising, where I exercised my rights as a sovereign human being, knowing that all weapon formed against me shall not prosper. And I have the command to make demons and energies fall down and squeal like the demons they are, and run and flee. To have that belief in your mind, not everybody has that. I've realized that. Not everybody has that. Because what I found myself in a position where this guy that wanted to kill himself hated my guts personally, me, especially me. I don't know if I've told you this before. I can walk into a room and people will look, people will turn and they will stare. Not in good ways. Not in good ways at all. Their energies, their demons dislike me. It's got nothing to do with my status in life. It's got just to do with this aura, this position that I held, that this is my life. And I step into their life and they do not like it. They take great offense to it. My entire life. It's not new to me. And when he sort of realized that it was me that was holding him down, he even went even more nuts. Because I had to hold him. I had to hold him from his death, from his destruction. I never hurt him. He never got the opportunity to hurt me. He was a smaller guy. But you know, the demons and the spirits in the alcohol make you very, very strong. And we had to ride with the driver from SAS Saldanha Bay to Cape Town, 2 Mill Hospital. And eventually, my own strength, I couldn't hold him anymore. I had to start speaking out loud because all the time it was him shouting and screaming death upon me. And I started praising Jesus and worshiping God and thanking the Holy Spirit for the strength. And in my mind's eye, I could see these balls of flames, these demons, these energies chasing. We were in this high-ace Toyota peak personnel carrier going at 120 kilometers an hour as fast as we could to the military hospital, and he was full of blood and bleeding and everywhere, and he was in a state, and I could see these demons chasing, flying in the air next to me. I think that's part of why I won Best National Serviceman of the Year. I saved a man's life. There have been other men's lives who have not, their lives have not been saved. When I have been there, they have died in front of me. Well, that's a different story, because there weren't no demons and it was in broad daylight. Yes, and he hated my guts. Don't tell me just because you did your normal natural thing of opening up your legs for another man and giving that man hell for the rest of his life just because he impregnated you. Children are not worth it. It's not worth having children that become demons in real life and terrorists. It's up to the parents who try and control them. But at the same time, when you try and control, then you dull their actual purpose in life. And sometimes you bring people into this world by your actions and your sexual activity. You bring people into this world who are complete degenerates and disgusting and shouldn't be given the opportunity to be around the rest of us. Destructive and only see the dark. Reminds me of someone. I need to pee. I'm going to make you watch the rest of this.
His closest loved ones. Andrea doesn't believe it was the phone. She believes it was him. She believes that he was calling, and when his family and loved ones picked up and he heard their voice, they heard nothing but static, but that was good enough for him, and he called the next person. The calls, they stopped after they pulled his body from the wreckage. Not gradually, not with a warning, just straight silence. It was like something had been holding on, waiting to be found, and once he was found, let go. The coroner said Charles died instantly. But for 11 hours, someone or something just kept reaching out. So what do you think? Do you believe, like Andrea believes, that Charles was trying to tell them that he wasn't alone in the dark, that he was still reaching out, still listening, and maybe in some way, maybe it wasn't just static on the other end of the phone. Maybe it was a man who had something to say, but his voice was already gone. Damn it.
This story eerily reminds me of the missing Malaysia plane. The family members of the victims on board that plane were saying they were receiving calls from their loved ones, even though the plane had supposedly crashed during that time or disappeared. And again, when it comes to this individual, this story is indeed confirmed to be true. But I do also wonder about time slips as well. Perhaps in another reality, another time, this train did not crash and time just happened to cross paths. This next individual, this next creepy video from Brian the Arranger talks about just that, how he believes he was also involved in some other kind of time slip.
I need help. I don't know what's happening. I am in Sarasota, Florida, Bradenton, one of those, and driving Uber. And I just dropped off this teen writer at this barbershop here. And literally 2 minutes later, I was driving around looking for a place to park. And I thought, oh, well, there was a parking in front of the barbershop. Let me just go park there, wait for a ride. And so I drive back up, and as I'm pulling in this spot, like the front of my car, let me show y'all. The front of my car is looking through this window. The back, pretty much right here, is the door, right? So as I'm getting out, because I had another ride at the same location. I'm like, oh, cool, I'm picking somebody leaving here. But the pin was weird. But that's a whole nother thing. It was a scam. That's a whole nother story. But so I'm trying to contact the writer, and I'm like, oh, I'm out here, but your pin is weird, but this is where I'm picking you up. I get out, and I'm looking, as I'm sitting, before I get out, I'm sitting in my car, and I look through the window, this window right here. And the teen that I just dropped off was sitting in the chair. He sat in the chair. There were other people in there. He was talking to, I guess, the barber. He took off his hat like he was getting ready to get his haircut. And I'm like, okay, let me go walk inside and see if this next ride is inside. And I get to the door and I see like we are closed. So I'm like, oh, okay, that must have been like their last customer. But then I walk back over to the window here, where I was just literally, I walked from there to there, and I walked back to the window to see if I get somebody's attention. Maybe the person is inside. This, the lights are off. There's nobody in here. There's nothing happening. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. Is there a portal that I just went into or something? Weird AF. And then these people with their Uber scams talking about, anyway, that's another video, I guess. Are there portals in Sarasota, Florida too? I mean, it is Florida, so I don't know.
But in this next creepy video that comes from Curiosities Unknown, more and more people are reporting about time slips, lost hours, and this does kind of go hand in hand with news and media, how they're reporting how scientists are saying time is indeed moving faster. Now,
NPC, thanks for commenting. NPC says, it takes a village. You are a master storyteller, Lord Dandy, educational, entertaining, and you have a gift for relating your narrative to our lives. Well, thank you very much, NPC. I'm not a very great storyteller. I'm just telling you the story that I know it is. I've got many more. I've listed them. I've actually listed them here because I've been insulted because I didn't produce terrorists that hate me today. I didn't produce any children that hate my guts because I was a total control freak. Many people don't deserve to have children, but they have children because it's the natural thing. That's what you do. You have children. It's a natural process. It is a miracle, but it's been done over and over and over. Now it's the responsibility of when you get your child to actually make something of that child, and then that child doesn't want to be something. What if the child is born with defects and problems for the rest of your life? What is the purpose of that? I can't explain to mothers who their whole lives, it's now their purpose to raise this child that is not going to become something without their mother's help. Not everybody's meant to have children. And if you do have children, you should stop after one child. Let me show, wait. Never mind the homeless people that I help in my area, that I give whatever I can. I'm starving, sir. I need food, uncle. Yeah, sometimes they drink. Sometimes they're beggars. But sometimes you just need to give out of the... Why? Because my circumstances are much better than their circumstances. I can tell you now, every homeless person in my areas with an S, they know my name. Not the white ones. The white ones I don't trust. The white ones, they all work for a gang. I don't know if you've seen My Own Private Idaho, but these people, they beg on the side of the street, and then they go and give the money to their pimps, their masters, where they live. Since I came back from Ireland, I opened a little coffee shop. When you're serving food and then there's a person walking past starving, are you not going to give him a plate of food? Yes, you are. If you've been given that opportunity, I promise you, you would do it too. I did it. I had extra food. Even if I didn't, I would give you extra food. Have you ever been starving? Have you ever gone a day without food? Or 2 or 3 days without food? Do you know what that's like? But let's talk about more relevant shit, like gay faggot shit. You want to call me a faggot, that's fine. I'm your Lord Faggot. Whore. Okay? Okay. I had gotten a job, a very good. I was working for a top 500 company, listed company in South Africa. This was in the 90s, the late 90s. So, I mean, we didn't have onboard computers. Well, I was selling the very first original onboard computers. But I met this gay people in my circle. And the one really helped me out, because even though I had this new job, I bought this new car, I had to pay off my debts, and after the 5th of the month, I had no more money left. Zero money. I couldn't even feed myself. Meanwhile, I had to go and represent the company, going on luckily, I had a petrol card. I could go and gas. I could fill up. The company would pay for the gas of my car. But at night, when I came home, there was no food. So I went to this friend that I met, in the gay world. And he had a lovely home to live in. It wasn't his home. He was sort of married, in a long-term relationship with another guy. The other guy was one of the richest gay guys in the land. And the relationship grew. And the other guy, the rich guy, he knew me well. But then the rich guy took my friend on their last holiday to Ibiza. I don't know if you heard of Ibiza. We're going to Ibiza. We're going to have a party. Yeah. And I was asked to look after their house and their dogs. Unfortunately, the one dog died. It was a bulldog. Oh. Or it was the Pekingese. Oh, it was a terrible story. But they had too many dogs, and the one dog died under my watch. That's why I don't look after other people's dogs anymore. But when he came back from Ibiza, he climbed into the car, his car I was driving. I picked him up at the airport, and he just burst into tears and said, "Gary says it's all over. It's over. It's over." I said, What do you mean it's over? He said, the relationship is over. It's over. This was his last holiday and he needs to move out. And I thought, fuck this, baby, for a ball of shit. You're not going to ruin my friend's life. He saved my life. I'm going to save his life. And look, long story short, I helped my friend get the very first gay divorce on the go, on the rocks, for lack of a better, with the lawyers. I got him financial aid through the government because he's gay, and we tried to sue the motherfucking shit. We didn't get it right, because when you want to sue someone, it takes a hell of a long time. It takes a lot of resources, even if the government is paying for your legal aid. And we had the best lawyers, the best advocates. We tried dirty business, lawfare. That's what it's about. Unfortunately, the guy, he's dead today. Giusto. He was Italian, from good stock in this country. His father built bridges, big, good stock, Italian stock in South Africa. Eventually, he was staying with me and my mother down the road here, and my mother, she had enough of him. She couldn't deal with him. She told him, just take a deal with your ex. And eventually, he suffered. He took the deal. 4K a month. Give me 4K a month and a little car, and I can go and live my time. He died 2 years ago. He laughs at me. He laughed. All my friends laugh at me. All the people that I helped laugh at me, but all of them are dead. They're all dead. Most of them are dead. I was there. I saved their lives. What does it do? Maybe I extended my life. I don't know. There's another young man. I was, at the same time, I was, because you need more money. You forever looking for more money. Never mind the hustling. I went and worked at the nightclub as a barman, where I met this other young straight guy. And I thought, what the fuck are you doing here, Brew? You don't deserve to be. Well, yeah, this is a job. I've got a job. Where are you staying? Oh, I'm staying wherever I can find a bed to sleep. And I took him in. He slept at the end of my bed. There was no funny business. He wasn't gay. Till today. And through my hustling, my bad hustling on the streets at night, I meet people. It's another thing about me. I meet the right people at the right time. And I thought, well, maybe this could work. There's this fella, young fella, 20, 21, he's only working in the nightclub. He's staying with me. I gave him a place to stay. I moved out of my commune just to get an old cheap flat just so that he could have a place to stay. And I asked I met this guy. He had the best Harley Davidsons. He had a shop that sold brand new vehicles, a car salesman. And he was the principal of the shop. And I said, look, I've got this young fella. He needs a job. I've got a job. I've got a good job. Not that it's paying, but can you help this fella out? And like, it was like a gift for him, but he wasn't ready for it. He wasn't prepared for it. I had been to the Navy. I had known you go to an interview, you iron your clothes. He wants to go for his interview. I gave him my suit. It was a synthetic suit. You could iron it. And I said, no, brah, you got to iron your suit. You got to look like you're going to be able to sell a car. Anyway, long story short, he got the job. He got his job. He got on his feet. He never ever paid me rent. He never ever paid me for food. His father was a sellout, like these people that beg on the streets. He lived in the Salvation Army. I don't know in America. I don't think there's a Salvation Army, but in England and Australia and South Africa, there's a Salvation Army that helps these people, these bums, that just degenerates in society. That was his father. He took me to his mother in Pietermaritzburg. One night we went out. It was the days of partying, of course. So he says, I'm going to take you out on a night on town in Pietermaritzburg. I was like, okay, fine. And then we finished up. We knocked on his mother's apartment's door. She had a one-bedroom apartment at 1 o'clock in the morning, and she opened the door and she let us sleep on the floor. And the next morning we woke up Sunday morning with roast chicken, pumpkin and roast potatoes. It was the best. I had a mother maid. She was so happy. Her son was there and brought a mate home for Sunday lunch. I was like his father figure. Still today, I haven't met him. Another fellow who also stayed with me at the same time. He looked very much like me. He's also dead today. He was murdered, shot 6 times in his head. He came up to see me 10 years ago. I don't know how he got into the big boy business. You know the big boys business where they drive their 5 Series BMWs and doing the big deals, and yeah, I'm building all these solar panel farms. I've become something. And a week later, there's a death review in the newspaper. Shot dead by gangsters, balaclavas over their heads. Doof, 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 doof. Imagine. So I might not be cognitively always there, and I'm a little bit slow, but I am there for my fellow human trying to get through, because there is a dark side in life. You know, Lolsey Green always laughs at me when I bring up the Irish. My first experience with the Irish, I was hitchhiking down from Johannesburg, from Pretoria actually, to Durban, to go and see my mother. And there was another hitchhiker. And at the time, it was 1994. There was a lot of turmoil in Germiston. A lot of turmoil. There was going to be civil war. There could have been civil war. And here was this Afrikaans boy, Afrikaner. He was also hitching down to Durban to catch a ship to go to Maputo, Mozambique, which was going to go to Ireland. And he was going to go and fight in the IRA, the Irish Republican Army, 1994. By the time when we got down to Durban, I was going to help him find his ship that he was going to get onto. And we're walking through the docks looking for the ship. For fuck's sakes, I'm really thick sometimes. And he said, look, can I show you my revolver? And he pulled out of the back of his backpack a 45 revolver. I said, dude, you mean I've been traveling with you the whole time and you've got this in your backpack? He says, yeah, but don't worry, it's fine. You're my friend. I said, yeah, okay. There's the police station. You look for your ship. I've had enough of you. Goodbye. He was going to go and fight in the Irish Republican Army. I've been an angel. I have fought for people. My nose, you see, my nose is straight, actually. It's pretty straight today. It wasn't always straight. In 2015, it was punched straight because of my drinking. Yeah. So praise Jesus, I got a free nose job. It's straight today. My entire life, since I was 21, it's been broken. It was like that, like that. My nose came like that. Or like that. And it was always numb. If I touched the end of my nose, I couldn't feel my nose. All from a time where I was beaten up in for Witberg stuff because I'm gay, because I'm a little bit of, you know, a fag type of way. And my nose was always broken. And in those days, then I met this guy. He was a brilliant artist. I don't think he's also alive. I cannot find his name on Facebook, but if you think of it, I knew him then. He wouldn't have been able to survive on our social media streets these days. He was a complete, an utter genius when it came to art. He made a bust of my head. He actually took the most beautiful photographs of me. We had kittens. The one cat came onto my bed and she just fucking had 9 kittens. She gave birth to 9 kittens on my bed. I didn't know what to do. But I got through it. I don't know if you've ever had a bust made of your head out of plaster Paris. He put plaster Paris over my face, and then he cut it out, and then he filled it up, and there was a bust of my head in his workshop. He was my housemate. I was his lodger. NPC, are you fucking crazy? Wow! Wow, NPC. Bless you, my man. Thank you. But we decided it's Friday night, we're going to go to the pub, the gay pub, when it was illegal. It was against the law. But there was this one pub by the train station where you could go to in Pretoria, our capital, like Washington, D.C. type of thing. You know, it's always in the capitals, the gays are always allowed to do the freak-offs. So we get to the bar and we got our drink and we're going on to, there's a little dance floor there. And somebody knew him or didn't know him or thought, well, you fucking fag, and started piling into him. And he wasn't a tall guy. He wasn't a short guy. He was 5'8", I'm sure. But an artist, and not Queenie. He was a butch guy, you know, the vest and, you know, the denim look, you know, the butch jock looking guy, but smaller and older. And he started getting gay bashed in the bar, next to the door. And I got my drink in my hand. It's like, fuck, you're not going to hit my friend. And I got in between. And there, I'm just holding the guy, and he's throwing punches at me on the dance floor. We fall onto the dance floor. Everybody flees. And I got my drink in my hand, like I do now. And he punches me, and I fall on the floor. And I get up again, and I didn't spill my drink. I was very proud of myself. But my tooth, I don't know if you can see. Can you see the scar? That's why I can't whistle today. And in the 90s, I still couldn't. There was so much scar tissue in my lip here. It was so tight, I could never even whistle in the 90s. Now, sometimes I can get the whistle straight. But the tooth, the bottom tooth went right to the lip. And then we go to the surgery, you know, the ER room on a Friday night. And we're waiting for the surgeon, and these guys, these fucking gangsters, gangstalkers, or whatever you call them, gangbangers, they come into the same surgery because they're also now wounded. And I don't know if it was the same people or it was the same fight, but it was a big fight night. It must have been full moon that night because the men were full of bruises and cuts and scars, and I had to be stitched up here. You know, I fought for people. It's not just your parents that fight for you. It's your friends, the people that you least expect, the people that respect you. They will defend you stronger than your family, more so than your family. It is the people that actually care about human life. And if you care about human life, then there's nothing. If you are willing and able, it's nothing for you to put the effort in life. I don't know if he's alive today. Lastly, before we carry on with this, and I saw a lot of ghosts in Ireland. Sorry, Lolsey. I had terrible, vivid dreams, scary dreams of gargoyles and pig-nosed people. We had just arrived. It was the first weekend in Ireland. There were 33 of us chosen. Most were black, obviously, given the opportunity. And somehow there was a loss in translation, where the black people thought they were going to be given free food, free accommodation. We were sort of given free accommodation. It was 90 euros a week, and we only had to start paying for that in 2 weeks' time, which we would be paid from our salaries, from our wages in the hotel. But these people came with nothing to another country, another land. Our air ticket was paid for, and which we paid for back to the hotel over a year. And so this came to dawn on us. Well, it seemed like all the black people from the Transkei, the old country, the Eastern Cape, were going to climb back onto the plane and fly back to South Africa. Everybody turned and looked to me, Lionel, what are we going to do? And that's the strangest thing here in South Africa. And when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, they're all going to turn to the white man and ask, what do we need to do here? Because the dark man, and I'm not talking about the skin color, I'm talking about the man that lives in darkness. The woman that lives in darkness has no answer. And they were in darkness. I was in lightness. I said, but that's simple. There's 33 of us. We all got a little bit of money. We buy some potatoes. We'll club together. We'll wash each other's clothes. We'll work together. We are South Africans. We are a team. We're going to make it through. It's just a month. It's only 30 days. Your darkest day is only 24 hours. And everybody pulls together. We're going to get through this together. It's not like we're going to be touchy-feely and be all in each other's faces. No. There's only one thing we need to do is allow a human being to eat, shit, breathe, drink, and sleep. And then they are being. Believe me, you don't tell me, I don't know, I've never helped anyone in this life. I have fulfilled my purpose. And thank you for all the people chatting. Fancy Trap, I feel so bad. I saw you I told Toshi earlier, I saw the live and I was like, I don't dare even chat right now because I need to move on. I saw and I was told Toshi, the lady's hands that she was doing, she really had beautiful hands. So anyway, for me to catch up, let's continue watching this. Thank you for the tip, NPC. I can't believe how brilliant you are. That really helped me, I promise you. Thank you very much. That's from Korea. You're in North Korea, yeah? Or North Tajikistan.
The scientists, they are saying that this is due to the rotation of the Earth moving faster.
Hi, Wilbur
Who
Jr.
really knows?
Okay, you ready for this one? On Reddit, one user wrote that time skipped forward impossibly. He wrote, my alarm went off at 7 a.m. and suddenly it was 8:30. And when he checked every clock, his watch, his phone, his wall clock, they all matched. So an hour and a half was just gone. Another person shared that time just stopped. They wrote that they got home, sat down to watch a movie, and suddenly it was an hour later with no memory of how that time passed. And on TikTok, entire threads, hashtag missing time glitch and time glitch are blowing up right now. People posting stories all over the place. They're comparing timestamps and everyone's questioning reality. So 5 people in one town losing the same hour is not as far-fetched as it sounds. Because if even one person's clock just jumps ahead, it starts feeling like something's off, like something's broken, like something's glitching in the background of reality, right? So what if time's not broken though? What if time is actually skipping?
This next creepy video comes from the Empress, and I don't know why, and I watched this video a couple times, but during the part where she says it's not her, I get such an eerie feeling like my discernment is telling me that something is not right here.
Y'all, so I'm getting ready to post this video of myself. I just recently did a
wow, Taiwan
content piece on
brilliant. You also
John,
soldier. You're also a soldier. Wow.
About, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. So I had something that happened, and when it happened, of course I was shook, but I decided to redo the video and put it out there because obviously something was trying to stop me from putting it out there. So let me give you the story first of what happened. So as I was recording, I got to the part where I started talking about the word and frequency. So I was, y'all know when I talk to you guys, I'm very direct, eye contact. I'm not looking off too much and, things like that. I'm very present, and what happened, it was completely not me. I did the recording. I said what I had to say about the frequency and stuff. And I said, okay, well, let me go back, look at it and edit it. So when I go back to look to edit it, and when I got to that part, Y'all, I was not saying nothing. My eyes were saying everything. It was like I was talking, but I wasn't moving my lips. I wasn't doing nothing. It was absolutely crazy. And I know for a fact that I was speaking what I was speaking. And it's like something did not want me to say what I needed to say. So here we go. Let me show you guys what happened. Here is something that you now I'm talking right here. Some preachers have got a slight after the Bible verse. They didn't go watch. Just watch. Depth, especially where I'm about to show you.
Hey, Jeffrey.
When I figured this out, I was like, what in the world? So in John 1, verse 1, everything looks normal, right? My typical self. Was the Word. And the Word was with God. And the Word was God. Typical. Now, most preachers, they preach this. And they will say, it was His Word that was God. Which, they getting there, but let's look a little bit deeper. Here we go. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by Him, and without Him was not anything made that was made. So we notice here, the word is with a W, meaning it is some type of noun, person, place, or thing, right? And then you have God, which is a person, okay, a noun. We're getting there. And it is also spelled with a capital G. Watch this. A capital letter. What am I doing? I did not do any of this. I was speaking on frequency and things like that whole time. Why am I looking like this? I was speaking, literally. What is this? What happened? And then I had the nerve to stop the video and go to another and do that. What is that? And then watch this. Frequency is everything. As if I've been talking, because I was talking.
Some people are even saying that perhaps maybe even AI took over and created a different scene than what she was actually doing, which would be an even worse case scenario. Even her hand seemed abnormal when she was rubbing her face, but like I said, when she went silent and she stopped talking, it really gave me just like an eerie feeling I can't explain. Or could this just be another case of time skipping, time glitching, and it was caught on camera? This next creepy video
I don't believe that she made that one up. Come on, man. Hi, Jeffrey. I gave a little bit of a rant earlier. You can rewind and watch. But we're doing ghosts and everything that makes you poop in your brooks.
The supernatural sleuth.
What you're looking at could be one of the clearest ghost photos ever taken inside of Bobby Mackey's. If you didn't already know, there's a place in Wilder, Kentucky where Bobby Mackey's once stood. Bobby Mackey's was torn down just a short time ago, but not before some of the biggest names in the industry investigated here. Project Fear, Sam and Kobe, Ghost Adventures all came to this infamous location to search for Johanna and many more spirits that were said to reside there. Often referred to as the gateway to hell, this place did not disappoint, and many believe there was a portal to hell in the basement where the well once was. In this photo that was submitted by one of my followers of her daughter, who was on the mechanical bull at Bobby's, had this strange entity appear. I want you to look at it closely, examine it. You can even make out a head on this thing. Tell me in the comments what you think if you've ever visited Bobby Mackey's. If you have any evidence you'd like to share, my email is listed in my bio. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. God bless.
This photo really stood out to me because what looks like to be a head in this photo eerily reminds me of that photo of that young man who was involved in that car crash. He lost his life, but when this photo was released, they said you could see his face in the photo that appears to look like some kind of ghost.
Yeah.
So is whatever happens to be captured here very similar to the car crash photo? Thank you all so much for watching.
So this reminds me of something, you know, I was speaking about living in Pretoria earlier, back in the 90s. And there's a specific place by LIONESE. And if it's a hill, it's a very steep hill, and there's a stop street at the top of the hill. I think it's on Eusebius Drive. And if you let go of the handbrake, the car automatically goes forwards instead of backwards. So let's see if there's something. Oh, I've spelled that wrong. Yeah, cars going uphill, the wrong way around. Exactly. I've seen this before. Have you seen this?
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm currently driving down a hill. Let's just come to a stop, put the car in neutral, and stick the handbrake on. So, according to my eyes, the bottom of the hill's just down there, and the top of the hill is back up there. So, what happens if I let off the handbrake? Well, hopefully you can see, gravity is not pushing me to the bottom of the hill. It appears that gravity is pulling me back up the hill. It appears that the car is rolling uphill. What the hell is going on here? Well, this is Ronag Road on the Isle of Man, known as the Magnetic Hill on the island. So, is there some weird inverse physics going on? Or could it be witchcraft? Or is there a simple explanation? Well, on the witchcraft front, the Isle of Man isn't short of folklore. They have plenty of witch trials here, and they even have a fairy bridge in the south of the island where you literally have to shout, "Hello fairies," as you cross it, or your family will be shrouded in bad luck for 1,000 years. Standing stones, castle-dwelling phantom dogs, this place is full of superstition. So, could the Magnetic Hill be cursed? Or could it be some weird phenomenon of physics, a gravity shield acting on this specific bit of road that inverses the way our world normally works? Could it be alien technology?
Dot, thanks for joining. I hope you're well. I'm glad you're well. Good to know that you're back in the land of the living. I hope everything's going well with you. I'm ending with these last 3 videos. And thank you for joining me. You know, a troll came in the other night acting as you. A lost sock, and you know me, I love lost socks that come in as fake avatars. What can you do? What can you do?
Could there be magnets in the bushes at the side of the road? Well, it turns out it's one huge optical illusion that has baffled tourists for decades. Here is how it works. If you were to bring proper surveying equipment here, you would see that this end of the road is higher than that end of the road, despite what it looks like. The optical illusion comes from the fact that we're on a tilted piece of land.
Okay, shut up. Let's see this one.
Hello, my friends. Today I'm about to show you Magnetic Hill, the power of Magnetic Hill. And this is in just outside of Black Rock. And it's where the car, apparently, we'll find out, rolls uphill. And I'll just show you the swing around and show you the sign here. So there we go. We're going to Magnetic Hill. So, let's go. Let's come along for the ride, eh?
Looks like we are coming. Looks like we are coming.
Oh, come on, you idiot. Scotland. Oh, Scotland. You know, I was so tempted to say something on the live with Team Rose and Ruck. I saw a video there that came up yesterday or today where the people from Scotland, they come from a different world. Did you know that? They have different genes. They have aliens genes.
It might at first look normal, but something very odd is happening on this Scottish road. These cyclists are having to pedal hard to go down a hill. And this cyclist is coasting up the hill. And look at this car. The driver stops, puts the car into neutral, and it starts to roll up the hill. There's conspiracy theories where there's magnets hidden behind the bushes and stuff, but no one really knows that.
They said that the road was cursed along this bit. My papa used to tell me that it was an old witch tale, that an unknown force that was pulling you the other way.
Possibly gravity operates different in this part of the earth. This road confuses everyone who uses it. We've asked road surveyor Chris English to investigate. He's brought along a mystery-busting piece of equipment known as a theodolite. And he's going to do some measurements.
Okay, that's 89.4.
Observation stored.
Okay, on to the next one, please.
The results are completely unexpected.
Observation stored.
This looks like the top of the hill, right? And this looks like the bottom. Wrong. It's the other way around, actually. Chris's measurements show that this point is 292 feet above sea level, and this one is 303 feet.
The ground level actually gets higher on my records. It might not show that, but that's actually what takes place.
So, does Chris know what's going on?
Absolutely no idea.
Thankfully, psychologist Dr. Rob McIntosh thinks he has the answer.
Relatively speaking, this goes downhill with respect to the surrounding landscape that we're standing in. But if we could get a wide enough perspective on this, we'd see that we're standing within a tilted landmass. The whole landscape tilts this way, and the road tilts in the same direction, but by a smaller amount. So the relative slope appears to go this way.
So we're not going insane. It's just one giant optical illusion. The landscape is playing tricks on us.
So here's the car, and it's clearly rolling up the hill with respect to the surrounding frame, but not with respect to true gravity.
These optical illusions fool us because we rely too much on our eyes and don't listen to our other senses.
So, I think that's the end of that. I thank you very much for joining me. Everything is perception. How you perceive things to be is how they will be to you. And if you perceive them to be scary, they will definitely scare you. But just know that you have the ultimate sovereignty to have power over any situation where you find yourself in, where you think it's bigger than you, and it's not. It's your perception. And you are bigger than any situation in your life. Not all of us had sailors for dads and shipbuilders. And so we don't have that same chutzpah. But we all do have the same power within us to command any situation. It doesn't matter if you have a raging, ranting banshee on the other end who has all the words to destroy you. only know that those words are spells. And as that girl was speaking earlier in John 1:1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Are the words with you? Or are you only spewing out spells to destroy other people, other countries, other things? Because of your lack of love in your heart to submit to your man or your love or your God or your earth or your wife. You see, that's what we had now with Team Rose and Ruck. Ruck is, for the lack of a better word, is a man that's taken care of by his wife. He has many issues, lots of terrible issues. And Team Rose is also a woman that no one can live with. No one in the world can live with her, not her children. They can't stand a whole week with her in 1 year. My perception, my perspective is because, well, she's just doesn't have any bright light inside of her to emit. It's hard work for her to be a granny. She doesn't fit in. Now, I personally, I see the child of God in her, even with all the bad words and the bad spells that she casts on me and anyone else, Toshi, Lizzo, anyone that comes to try and not even oppose her in a bad way, in a good way, in a helpful way, in a friendly way, in a way where friends stick up for friends and say, you're going in the wrong direction here. Maybe you just need to change tack. Something is not working. That's what friends do. Friends don't bring you down. Friends don't demand you to defend them. If your friend doesn't want to fight for your rights, then you can't force them to. It's not their job to. People will defend you out of the blue in this life. And that's what I am. I've been a defender. I've been an angel in people's lives who don't even know me, didn't even stay friends, and have died. They have died. So it's no, I don't get any badge for it. I don't get any reward for it. Only knowing that our lives crossed paths and I tried my best. Maybe it was wrong. Maybe I wasted my time. Yeah, definitely. I wasted my time. I should have walked all over there because they would have died anyway. I did what I thought I should do at the right time, at the right place. And I've saved people who hate me. There's no reward. You don't do it for that. You do it for your own conscience. If you feel that you need to help someone, then you help someone. I'm sure all of you have been in that position. Of course, if you're a parent, then all your help goes to your kid. And God help you if that kid turns out to be a terrorist or a serial killer or a wife beater or anything that is out of your hands. There's nothing you can do about it. So this brings me back to my final countdown, the final. You are not in control of your life. As much as you think you're in control, things happen and people happen. And so you only need to stick to your core beliefs, your core feelings, and go from there. You will make mistakes. You make mistakes. You offend people. And people will hate you. But they die in the end. Hopefully they go to a better place. I have no answers on that. The only answers I have is today. Are you alive? Appreciate it. Because the present is a gift from the heavens above, from creation itself, from the very first words that were spoken. So watch the words that you speak. No one's perfect. But the words that you speak slap you back in your face. Faster, sooner than later, the older you become. Peace, shalom, salam alaikum, mekas lifiyo. MPC, thank you very much for the tip. Very rewarding to me. Toshi, thanks for signing in. Fancy Tramp, thanks for saying hi. MJD, you are my favorite donut. And the newest, Wilbur Julie. Did Wilbur even realize he got a wrench? I don't think they realized they got a wrench. I was too slow. But I did give them a wrench. Maybe they'll come back again. It's nice to see new South Africans. Yes. To be honest, I'm quite close to perfect. I know, Tramp, you're very fancy. But you're a Leo. And Leos have this thing, I must say. Don't let me stop. How did your race go? How did your marathon go, Tracy? I mean, Tramp. How was your marathon? You said you had to go and sleep and run a marathon today. And then I saw you in Toshi's live. Was that the marathon? I suppose. Anyway, ciao for now. Tot ziens. Ek is lief vir jou. Maybe later I come live. I'm not too sure. I don't think so. I think this is enough for today. I hope I entertained you. I hope you enjoyed being in the space with me. I did. Yeah, so just watch the words you say. Because the words are not only creating different worlds in other people's lives, it is affecting your very own timeline. You hear me? There we go, Wilbur. And thank you for staying with me. I'll see you around next time. No marathon today, just a long run. Okay, well done. Well done. That's good. You need to get out there. I took the dogs to the park. Oh, can you see the dog there? To the river. And we need to get him neutered next week. And he's going to go to the parlor. And he's got an issue with his ears. His ears stink. I can smell the infection in the ears. There's something there. And there's something on his skin. Hopefully I will get his thing corrected in the next week. It's like a lump. And it's not nice when you want to pat the dog when it's got this boom, boom. Anyway. Ciao for now. Tot ziens. Salani gachle. Hambani gachle. Choose. Sayonara. Au revoir. Tot ziens. Until next time, remember, life gets tougher, but we get smarter. And if we try a little bit harder every single day, it does get better. It's 3 steps forward, 5 steps back, but who cares? This is life. It's beautiful when we look past the suffering. It is. And remember, you're not suffering. It's all in your head. Be careful of the ghosts. Yes, ladies, gators, tot ziens. Until next time, be good.